Good morning, Tuesday morning, a super jam-packed day, but a very chill one. How does that work? The people I'm meeting with are some of the most chill people I know, and some people I've been waiting to meet for a very long time. Ellie Sprung, early morning meeting in Azrieli. Then I'm heading to Palantir to meet Rachel Kraus, long overdue meeting. Lunch with Joseph Mandelbaum, who pretty much knows me my entire life. And then I'm interviewing Yonit Sirkin from Mass Challenge, meeting her at Google and doing an interview with her for the vlog. So all in all, jam-packed, geeky day, but a very exciting one. Let's do this. Really bright and early. Meeting starts in like 20 minutes with Ellie Sprung. And then after that, Palantir. I highly doubt I can bring the camera into Palantir. But,
how are you?
How are you?
Fine.
Say hello to CNN.
Okay.
CNN. No, it's not CNN. Have a good day. Yeah, Rachel said I could bring the camera in and maybe have a casual conversation with her, not about Palantir, but I'm still skeptical as Palantir is probably the most secretive company on planet Earth, and rightfully so. Anyway, looking forward to catching up with Ellie Sprung. I like Azrieli, and I like getting parking in Azrieli. The Azrieli towers are quite confusing. There's like a round tower, a triangular tower, and a square tower. Always a challenge to find which tower I'm going to, but I would imagine this is the square one. The views from Tel Aviv offices never cease to amaze me. You'll forgive the cleanliness or lack thereof of the windows. Pay attention to the view. Bright and early meeting over some fantastic coffee. This is very good, by the way. Very good. But what's the small? I don't understand the shtick. What's the deal with the small coffee?
You should have asked for big.
I know, but like when I say hafuk, when I say cappuccino, like automatically I should get big, no? Size doesn't matter, my friend. Well, let's move this back a little so we don't cut off our beautiful faces.
Keep believing it. That's good.
All right. Keep telling yourself that. All right. So how long do we know each other?
30, 20?
Is that true? I moved to Israel 26 years ago. Pretty much 20 plus, at least 20 years we know each other. Your brother and I like hung out in high school. Your sister-in-law and I went to college together. Did she go to Bar-Ilan? Rachi? What do I know?
No.
What do I know Brachi? She worked with the mayor.
She did work with the mayor.
Still, the whole fan family. I know your whole. Oh, Nina and I hung out. We were in that.
You guys hung up in a little.
We were in the newspaper article
Post.
together. Oh my God! Look at that. 25 years later, and I'm writing for the Jerusalem Post. Look at that. I love it. All right, plug for Yaakov Katz. We love Yaakov. What's your name?
Ellie Sprung.
Ellie Sprung, the one and only. So where are we right now? Besides overlooking the amazing Tel Aviv view, but what is
the
this
office of Tudmore Levy?
Tudmore Levy. What is Tudmore Levy?
We're a top-tier law firm. We run the gamut of all the legal services that one business would need, and we do it with a smile and do good work.
Love it. Very important, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. But how big is this firm?
But I think about 120 legal providers, whether it's lawyers, partners, interns, etc.
And you're a partner?
I am.
How long you been here?
I've been here since I got back from the States in 2013, so it's been about 4 or 5 years.
6. Math isn't your strong. It's okay, you're a lawyer. No one's perfect.
5 years, yeah, there you go.
It's 2013.
End of 13.
Okay.
End of 13.
Fine. All right, so what did you do before?
Before I was a lawyer?
Yeah. Or before this law firm?
Before this law firm, I was in the States for 2 years.
Where?
Before that, in Kansas.
Did I know that?
You didn't know that?
I'm not sure if I knew that. Why Kansas?
My in-laws lived there.
Okay. You know the difference between in-laws and outlaws are?
I don't.
Outlaws are wanted.
My in-laws are wanted also.
All right. I understand you want to be politically correct. Can I get a chuckle at that joke, though? That was my dad's joke. You're insulting him by laughing at his jokes.
Tell me a funny joke. I'll laugh.
He's not laughing. Very nice. Okay.
Your dad has funny jokes. That just wasn't one of them.
That's true. All right. So you've been in the legal world
in this space for almost 20 years.
That's incredible. So we had a fascinating discussion. Is that
any conversation with you?
No, it was a fascinating discussion. Like, I always talk about Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky, right? What's his famous quote? He said, people ask, like, how did you become Wayne Gretzky? Wayne Gretzky, for those that don't know, is like the Michael Jordan of hockey, right? And he said, I skate to where the puck is going, meaning the puck is here, all the players are coming here. I'm like, listen, the ball is about to be there in 10 seconds, I'm going to go there. Meaning, I look to the future, I look to where the market's going. And so you look at all the winners we talked about, whatever it is, WeWork and Uber and Airbnb and Facebook, everybody's taking old school, primitive, archaic industries and disrupting them and bringing technology and just making it more, let's call it, user-centric. legal in many ways is very much stuck in the dinosaur era. So I don't think it's like it's not a big, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to realize that this is about to change. And the worst enemy, I'm trying to figure out a phrase, the worst enemy of any sustainable business is being a utility that no one cares about. So you have to make people emotional about what you're offering. And so I think right now the way you're doing that is a relationship, right?
Yeah.
People that work with you love working with you. You're a mensch. You're there for their best interest. I just gave you an example of Hillel, right? My travel agent. Why do I use a travel agent? 100% because of the relationship. That's it. I'm sure. Well, I was going to say I could find better deals than him. I can't. But irrelevant of that, even if I could, I would still use him because he's amazing and it's about the relationship. And so that's great. Having said that, thinking to the future and sustainable, I feel like technology has to be more involved in, and obviously there's a whole industry of legal startups, and we talk about Law Geeks and Justin Kahn, the founder of Twitch, and just a lot of things going on in the legal world. But the fact that this discussion, I believe, is like the kickoff as far as, at least in a small scale in your mind. Like if you make that switch, however that manifests itself, whether it manifests itself right now or in a week from now or in a year from now, at some point you're going to kind of start leveraging tech. And when I say tech, it could be content, it could be whatever. And I feel like whoever does that is going to win. Is that a fair statement?
I think so.
So tell me something interesting about the legal world that I don't know.
Something interesting that you don't know?
Yeah, I don't know anything about legal. What do you do for a startup? Talk to me like the life cycle of a startup. A startup hires you, what happens?
I would say usually people come in, they run out of Shmonim time, stuff like that.
The technology unit in the Army, if you don't know that by now, you haven't been watching my vlogs. Shmonim time, it's like...
There are people who don't watch your vlogs?
No such person. I just want to tell you something. I had a really funny meeting the other day with Sharon Wagner. You know who he is?
Yeah.
Just sold to Microsoft. He started the meeting with, I'm not a Bulgar Shmonim time. He's like, because every meeting starts with, I'm from 8200. He's like, I'm not from 8200. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, yeah, go on.
So I'm not from either, but we do have lawyers here who are.
Did you in the Army?
I was in the spokesman unit.
Oh, cool. So like the whole clever, what's his name? Eitan Buckman. You know Eitan?
Yeah.
Fredos? Okay, yeah, go on. So you were in the Army.
In the Army, you come in, you have a great idea. What do you do? So you basically want to know, how do we establish our relationship on a piece of paper?
Right.
So that if someone leaves, what happens to his percentage, or how do we split it, and who does what? So you come to me, we put it on a piece of paper. Then we can incorporate the company. Very important.
So you literally start from like, I have an idea on a napkin. You come to you and you from the beginning till I IPO'd. Did you ever do an IPO?
I did.
That's impressive. So, I'm meeting Joseph Mandelbaum today, speaking of public companies. Joseph? He's like, he's a legend. He literally knows me my entire life. But
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. You ask him. But no. But I'm saying you get acquired, you get an investment. It's literally the entire life cycle of a startup. You handle it all
from the beginning, from your diapers till hopefully we go up and not down. But we do both.
I'm going to make an offer on your behalf. I'm not even asking. I'm literally putting out a call to action right now, and I'm not even asking your permission because you're going to thank me later. If someone's watching this and they want to pick your brain about the legal aspect of growing the company.
I would say any question that you may have from a legal perspective, whether it's employment, IP,
anything,
various questions, investment, percentage-wise, anything that you have, more than happy.
How do people reach out?
You can email me.
What's your email?
Elie, E-L-I-E, @Tadmor, Tadmor -Levy, Levy.com.
Right there is his email address. Email the guy. Tell him you saw him on the vlog so he has some context. Context is everything. In my opinion, this is part of what I was talking about before. Unlike every other lawyer who's like charging $10,000 billion trillion to sit with you for 30 seconds, you're gonna help entrepreneurs.
That's what we do.
I'm not talking about we. I'm talking about you.
You happen to help entrepreneurs left and right. I do right and left.
You have a cup of coffee with people?
Always.
All right, ping the guy. Brother, I gotta get out of here. I'm going to Palantir. I don't want to be late to that meeting. But anything I can do to help you in, you let me know. You know where to find me.
Sounds good.
It's good to catch up. We should do it more often.
Take
Over
care.
steak, though, not like this. Time to play my favorite game, Find the Car, because whoever designed this parking lot was on drugs. Not the slightest clue. Somewhere here, because this is the line that I parked in. I'm looking for my lights. Oh, there they are. All right, heading to Palantir now, assuming they're going to be very strict about me coming in with this camera, like they were at Facebook yesterday. Hopefully they don't confiscate it. All right, here we are. That meeting, that was like on another level. It was just that company. I don't have any words to describe how fascinated I am by that company. Made it now to Meat Kitchen to meet Joseph Mandelbaum, who, like I said before, knows me my whole entire life, basically. And then I'm going to Google Tel Aviv down the block to meet with Yonit from Mass Challenge. First, steak. Fantastic fantastic meeting with Joseph Mandelbaum. Joseph Mandelbaum knows me pretty much my whole life, and he was the CEO of Perion, a publicly traded Israeli company, which is a sentence you can't say very often. Super humble dude, full of insights, but the meeting went so well, we didn't have time for an interview, so that will be next time. But really, really big fan of that guy. I'm now heading to Google to interview Mass Challenge. Made it to the new Google for Startups campus to meet Yonit from Mass Challenge. Going to interview her right now. Let me start off by giving an intro.
Yeah.
One of the many signs of maturity of an ecosystem is when there starts to be an additional layer on top of the ecosystem. What do I mean by that? It's a very abstract statement. What I mean is, so there's an ecosystem. There's startups in Israel.
Right.
Now there's an entire ecosystem of accelerators on top of those startups. And then you know you're maturing as an ecosystem.
Yeah.
That's one sign. I talk about the sign of impact technology. When you're making deep impact, you know, like you're not playing the short game and looking for quick revenue, but you're actually making the world a better place. That's another sign, but we'll focus on the first sign for today. In Israel, I'm gonna go a little bit crazy with the adjective I'm about to use right now and say there's an obscene amount of accelerators in this country. An obscene, okay?
Yeah.
Given that this is a country the size smaller than New Jersey,
Right.
And again, we both. I'm sure you talk about this all the time. I talk about this all the time. The just sheer amount of unicorns, of billion-dollar companies in this country is outrageous, and how many multinational corporations are located here and building core elements of their technology here is outrageous, and the amount of capital flowing to Israel is outrageous. All of it's outrageous.
No, that is true.
But I want to focus on one element here, on one component of this ecosystem, which is the accelerators.
Yep.
There are many, and I'm fortunate. It's imposter syndrome. I don't know why they want me to mentor, but I'm fortunate to be mentoring. I think pretty much.
Do you want me to tell you why we want you to mentor? Is that part of this?
No, we're here to plug you, not plug me. No. So bottom line is there's an incredible amount of accelerators in this country, but there's only one Mass Challenge.
That is true.
And this isn't like an opinion, and it's not because I love that you're in Machane Yehuda. We'll talk all about that. It's actually objective. You are officially the world's largest accelerator.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It is absolutely true. So we work with massive numbers of companies.
Let's start from the beginning, though.
Sure.
Who are you? Like, I'm talking here. We're here to interview you, and I'm talking. Who are you? What's your name?
I'm Yonit Sirkin. I started my career in economic development working for Mayor Bloomberg in New York.
What?
So
I want an intro. I want to interview him. What? That's awesome.
So I spent 5 years working for Mayor Bloomberg, and I was working in what I think is one of the most interesting times in the city of New York, because I started working for him in 2005. Money was growing on trees. We're growing. The city's massive. We're building out plans for how to manage growth. And during that period of time, who thought about startups? I mean, New York City was all about financial services and banks, and if you were brilliant, you were going into the investment banks, and if you were tech brilliant, you were going into other banks. And you were making money hand over fist, and that's how you were growing. And so I, as the Deputy Chief of Staff for Economic Development, was working mostly with really large companies, and we were thinking about growth in sort of very macro terms. And then 2008 and the financial recession and the crash, and the city of New York has to say, wait a second, 35% of my tax base is employed by the financial services sector. Where do I grow? How do I make sure talent...
What now?
And that's where tech came into play, because that's where we learned that startups and entrepreneurs are the solution. People who build companies, people who build new movements, innovation. That's the way you actually grow economies. They're the people who create jobs, and they're the people. And that's actually the history of Mass Challenge. So while I was going through that in New York City with Mayor Bloomberg, the founder of Mass Challenge was in Boston. His name is John Hawthorne, and he was sitting at Bain, at a major management consulting company, and he was saying, if only we could find a way to help innovators now, dafka when things are hard.
Dafka in English. How do you say dafka in English?
If I could actually find the word for it, I would use it.
There's some words like firgun, like I don't know how you say these
Right,
things.
exactly.
Okay.
So if you could find a way to actually help entrepreneurs now when it's challenging, when investors aren't opening up their wallets, when multinationals aren't able to really think past their current bottom line and invest in relationships with startups or new technologies, if you could actually change that paradigm and help entrepreneurs launch now, then you could have a worldwide movement.
Right.
Then you
It's
could
only
actually
gonna get easier from here.
Right, and then you can actually solve major
Love it.
problems.
Wow.
And so that's what Mass Challenge was founded to do.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I actually had a call with him.
Okay.
By the way. I lacked that context. That's really fascinating.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's what I was. I was working for Mayor Bloomberg in New York. Decided to come back to Israel in 2010. I had grown up here.
Really?
Yep.
Where?
In Haifa.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sound totally American.
I do. American parents.
Oh,
American
cool.
parents.
Where are you from
yes.
originally? Like, where's your family from?
My family's from New York and LA.
Cool. I'm from New York, Queens. Where in New York?
So we started off in Long Island, Great Neck.
Cool.
And then
like every good Jew.
Yes, exactly. Moved to Northern Jersey and then to the city.
Love it.
Circled around.
Okay. So I have a couple of questions that I want clarification on.
Please.
Okay. So as someone who has spoken several times at Mass Challenge Mentors, we got to talk about that because whatever. I have like we have to optimize that process.
I'm with you.
Like I have all like I want to be more involved. It's a time thing. We got to figure it out. But that's a topic.
We have some ideas about that, so we can definitely talk
about that. Fine, but I want to start from the beginning because like when you think of Israel, and by the way, what I'm about to say is actually an assumption that's actually wrong. But when you think of Israel and Israeli tech, you think of Tel Aviv, you think of Herzliya, you don't really think of Jerusalem, despite the fact that I believe Fast Company named Jerusalem as the fastest growing tech hub in the world.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, in terms of just like the norm, the assumptions that people make is like you're gonna open a tech accelerator, you're gonna do it in Tel Aviv. Not only are you not in Tel Aviv, you're in Jerusalem, but like you're like in the freaking marketplace of Jerusalem,
right.
Old school stuff.
Yes.
And I can't go to your office without getting like rugalach from the marketplace. So by default, when I go to Mass Challenge, I gain 10 pounds. Like, it's just great. But why Jerusalem?
So excellent question. So if you think back about what Mass Challenge's premise is, our premise is entrepreneurs save the world. People who build save the world. This is the way you solve it. We also believe that's the way to move economies forward. So we could have located in Tel Aviv and been one of the hundreds of startups and startup programs and accelerators in Tel Aviv. But by being in Jerusalem, we have a national program. We actually pull from all over the country that come to Jerusalem, and we got to join a ecosystem that had all of the right ingredients, right? Amazing universities, outstanding hospitals, a government that was willing to work with entrepreneurs and move towards them to help them grow. And we saw already the beginnings of real things happening, right? So you have the acquisition of Mobileye, you have major companies that are there, you have an ecosystem that went from 250 startups just 5 years ago to over 600 today. So it's happening, and we get to be a meaningful part of it and help it grow. And so that's where we want to be. You mentioned,
Sorry, I just want to interrupt you for 1 second if I may. I'm going to fight for this camera.
Please.
It's good energy. I like it. I dig it. But I just want to say one thing. Not only do the numbers speak for themselves in Jerusalem, but the quality of innovation in Jerusalem. I'll just give you one example among so many. I mean, you open your app store on the iPhone and you go to the top 8 apps. 2 out of the top 10 at any given moment are Lightricks. Lightricks.
For sure.
Facetune and then Light. Top of the app store, sitting in Jerusalem. I mean, wild company. I think, I don't want to jinx these guys because I absolutely love them, but I think Apple's going to buy them for billions. Like, I really do. They're just a crazy company sitting in, like, Hebrew University.
Exactly.
It's like, what the heck? There's so many like that.
That's something that's really exciting about Jerusalem, because the relationship with the universities and the tech that's coming out of the universities is just astounding. And that's how you're building meaningful companies and meaningful growth.
Love it.
You mentioned before that there are hundreds of accelerators in the country, and it's true. There are so many accelerators. But what makes us different is that we are fundamentally about global bridges, right? So part of the amazing thing that you're doing with this platform is you're connecting Israeli innovators with the world. You're giving sort of the eye on the Israeli innovator, and that gives a huge boost.
How'd you know that was my mission statement? Did you actually know that?
I didn't.
That's literally why I started this blog.
That's awesome.
I was in Silicon Valley, and everyone's talking about Israeli tech. Everyone's like, oh, Waze is so like unbelievable. I'm like, oh, no, I'm an Uri. They're like, who's that? I'm like, those are the people that founded Waze. They don't know one.
Right.
Not one person in Silicon Valley can name a single Israeli founder.
So that's I think such an incredible gift that you're giving. But what we're built to do is that
at scale.
At scale, exactly. We're all about helping entrepreneurs connect with global mentors, with global companies, with global opportunities. So actually taking them to market, spending time in the U.S. to help them grow.
And your network is the biggest there is.
And our network is incredibly large. We operate in 6 countries around the world as Mass Challenge. We share one platform of mentorship and one platform, so people can connect in meaningful ways outside of Israel. And that's ultimately what's going to help an early stage company in Israel differentiate themselves and move.
I love it. So
exponentially.
For the sake of the ADD of my viewers, I want to just end this interview because we could talk for hours.
We could talk for hours.
But I do want to just end with one important thing. What is your, let's call it quote unquote, because this is a dirty word, call to action? I don't mean call to action like, oh, come 1-800-dial Mass Challenge. That's not what I'm saying. But like, you're bringing this value on a silver platter. If I'm an entrepreneur, how do I tap into that? So
for entrepreneurs that in their early stage, so you've raised less than $500,000, apply to Mass Challenge. We have 8 days left in our program. So we're going to be in our application period. We're going to be closing applications on February 5th. So get that application in.
By the time this is published, we're going to have like 4 days. So get on that,
February
folks.
5th. Remember February 5th. So apply to Mass Challenge. So you can be part of this great network. If you're further along in your entrepreneurial journey and you're at a point where you can give back and you can mentor, please join our mentor network. It's one of the greatest networks. It's where we got to meet you.
It's true.
And I actually have some cool swag for you in that. I know.
It's like you knew I was coming.
It's like we knew you were coming.
It even has the Hill's Fuld thing on it. I love it. All right, should I do unboxing
You
on?
can totally unbox.
Oh my God.
You can totally unbox.
It's like legit, like, this is not a joke, by the way. You guys
Yeah.
are not messing around.
Not messing around at all.
What in the... Oh, this
So
I can already tell... Oh my... Whoa, okay. First of all, this is amazing. Oh my... Ooh, Mentor.
So, right? So you've got Mentor on the back. You've got Mass Challenge on the front. We are so proud of our mentors because...
Hey, what size is this though? Because I'm not... Listen, I don't know if you should be insulted, right? This is like a... Was this like a triple XL? No, it's just extra large. Okay.
No.
It just looks
And
big.
it's
Oh,
a
now.
jacket. You can wear things
Hold on.
underneath it. Please, we now have a wardrobe change, right? And cool beanie.
There you go. That's what
There
I'm
you
talking
go.
about. All
There
right.
you go. There you go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Done.
So aside from the awesome swag, we really think of our mentor network as the way that startups can build out their bench. This is how do you get to the credible type of experience and background that most startups can't afford to bring
Talia,
on.
take the
at this
picture from
age,
here, from this
but
angle.
They can actually.
Sorry to interrupt. We're in Israel though. This is totally like
totally
that's
fine.
totally legitimate behavior, by the way. Totally interrupt you and be so rude. I apologize. Sorry. Let's
Totally
go on.
fine.
What were you saying?
So what I was saying is that if you're further along in your entrepreneurial journey, we'd love to see you as a mentor. This is a way to give back, to work with startups, to get to meet really great people, and to increase your network. And if you're an investor, come and join our network because we're
Love
looking to
it.
work. So call to action at every level.
What's the website? How do people find it?
Apply.masschallenge.org before February 5th, early stage startups, and it's any type of sector or problem that you're looking to solve. So I
Agnostic.
actually, since we're in the gift giving situation,
What is happening here today?
two of our awesome startups are actually in the food space, so creating chocolate and
What is
really
that?
great nut butters.
Interesting.
So it does not have to be
Bring it
a.
up there. There
Here
you
it
go.
is. It does not have. This is my Vanna White moment. It does not have to be.
Nobody knows
a
who Vanna
tech
White is.
company.
You know that. Like we know Vanna because we're old, but like nobody knows who that is. Okay, sorry.
Isn't she still on TV? Aren't they on TV for like
No
30
way.
years?
She's like in an old age home or something. There's no way she's still on TV. You know who follows me on Twitter though?
Who?
Alyssa Milano.
Seriously?
Like we're like buddies. Like we're
Love
like
it.
schmoozing.
Who's
like,
the Boss was my favorite show when I was a child.
We all had a crush on Alyssa Milano. Boys or
I
girls.
did not have a crush on her, but
Come on,
I
yes,
did
you did.
think that she was great.
Closeted Alyssa Milano crush, whatever. Everyone.
I do have a girl crush on a lot of people like her.
Ellen
so I think
follows
that's
me.
great. Ellen, we love Ellen. Ellen, come here.
Yeah,
come
no
visit
joke,
us.
by the way. I really want to get Alyssa Milano to come to Israel. That's a side
Yes,
point.
awesome.
Okay, so you brought me chocolate.
So I brought you chocolate and I brought you nut butters.
Nut
These
butter.
are two of our founders from year one, from the
Love it.
2016 cohort. Our companies are doing great. They're growing. They're raising capital. They're employing people. They've created 7,000 jobs
It's incredible.
since we launched in 2016. So if you want to look at making a real impact on society,
Mass challenge.
amazing.
Amazing. I just want to say one thing. You had the opportunity to meet Joseph, who edits
Yes,
these things. So
yes.
you know that I'm going to get a beating for having a 13-minute interview. On that note, check out Mass Challenge. Go apply. I'm going to go enjoy this swag. See you all tomorrow.
Thanks all.
Later that night.